Hey everybody. So what's the difference between Office 365, Office 2019, and the old Office 2016? Hi, I'm Corinne Hoisington. I'm one of you. I'm an instructor and professor at Central Virginia Community College in Lynchburg, Virginia, but I'm also a Cengage author, so let me help make sense of all the new versions of Office. Office 2019 has now been out over 6 months. It's already out in the marketplace, but there's also the new updates to Office 365. So which one should you be using? Microsoft's doing something very different this time. What we're seeing is that Office 2019 really isn't the version you want. But why? Well, first of all, it will never get updates. 10 years from now, Office 2019 will still be Office 2019. It will only get updates for if there is an issue or security, which there's been no issues. They are going to come out with one more perpetual copy like this. So what's a perpetual copy? These are the year copies. So there will be an Office 2019 already, and now soon in a few years an Office 2022. But they only created these two last versions to get some of their small mom and pop businesses off the perpetual copies and on to Office 365. Office 2019 is the smaller version of Office. It only includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Publisher, and Outlook. It doesn't include any of the new feature sets that are part of Office 365, and they've made it quite expensive in hopes that would be a carrot to get people onto Office 365, making it less expensive. So the misconception is that Office 365 lives only in the cloud. It does not. We're talking about the Office 365 ecosystem. That includes the installed version of Office 365, the full version of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Outlook, and Publisher. OneNote is now a standalone app within Windows. You also are going to get monthly updates of Office 365, so you get all the new features. It will also include the feature set that has all the artificial intelligence and intelligent services. I'll get to that in a minute. You also include in Office 365 ecosystem 20 additional Office apps, like the very new popular Microsoft Teams, which is exploding in the educational space. It's much more reasonable in price as a subscription service, usually starting about $2.50 per month per student at your school, and it includes all the features of Office. I was recently at a very large executive conference and asked all the members, thousands of people, what version of Office are businesses using today? Do you know about 92% of businesses using Office 365 Pro Plus, and a very small percentage is still in either Office 2016 or has moved on to Office 2019 because Office 365 is the full version of everything and it's much cheaper in price. It's always up to date. It includes 1 terabyte of OneDrive space for each and every student and faculty members, PC, Mac, web, Android, iOS apps so that they work on Macs and PC. Of course, a Mac still doesn't have access. It just can't run it. And it is the most productive environment. It's the one that has all the brand new features that Office 2019 does not have. You see what I mean? There's a new designer feature, tap feature, researcher, data types, all these new features that are not part of Office 2019. It is the most secure and it is at the lowest cost because now with Office 365 Pro Plus, every student gets 5 additional copies to install on their home computer. 5 PCs, 5 tablets, 5 phone installs on top of it. Where Office 2019, the students don't get the copy at home. So Office 365 Plus is what we should be using in the classroom and what the students should be using at home. Now, why not stay on Office 2016? It'll be easier just to have the same lesson plans, but let me go ahead and tell you why that's not going to work well for you at all. Stay tuned. Here I am in Office 365 Pro Plus, installed locally on my computer. It has all the features. Now, first of all, take a look at the ribbon at the top. Do you notice it's very different than Office 2016, not only with features, but color, and some things are actually moved around. Some things actually have different steps now. So let me give you a scenario. Let's say you decide to teach Office 2016 this upcoming fall and beyond. And your students are getting Office 365 for their home computers because that's the version that the students get at home. Office 365 is already updating. Your school can actually block the updates for usually till the next summer. But this summer, they'll be getting all the new updates. So in other words, they're going to be seeing the newest features. So Office 2019 plus many, many new features. So if you stayed on Office 2016, the steps in the book are no longer right for them. The ribbon won't even look the same, and there'll be colors that look very different. And I don't know about your students, but if my students have anything different on their screen than what's in my book and what I'm teaching, it's really super confusing. So instead of saving yourself the issue of staying on Office 2016 and not having to deal with it, you do have to deal with it. Office 365 updates automatically after a given amount of time. So typically schools update and rebuild in the summer, so the students will get the new updates of Office 365. So let me show you some new features of Office 365 that neither Office 2016 or Office 2019 have. And when we write about it in our books, in all three series, we will write according to Office 365, but if there's a feature that's not in Office 2019, we'll make a bubble or reference to it. And all those books are ready to roll. So let me kind of show you what I mean. Here I am, I'm working on my resume. So in Office 365, I'm going to go under the Review tab and notice there's a new feature that is using intelligent services or AI. So I'm going to click this Resume Assistant powered by LinkedIn. Microsoft purchased LinkedIn about a year and a half ago for $23.2 billion. So let's say I'm going in the role of being a professor and I'm in the field of higher education. So this new tool allows me to put in any kind of field and industry, and it will reflect new examples and samples of resumes that are coming from LinkedIn but stripped out of any private information. So that way nothing will be shown that shouldn't be. So now I can kind of read these. Look at this. Collaborated with academic administrators, faculty members, campus administrators to deliver high quality education. Oh, I do that. But so often when students create their resume or we create a resume, we're not looking at our competition and seeing what they're writing. So now I could maybe reword, not copy and paste, but make sure I include all of these examples. And beyond that, let me scroll down. Look at this. Top skills for a professor. Do you know that most HR, human resource, when someone sends them a resume for their company, it's not read by a human being. Typically, it's read by a software product called ProFinder. So this actually shows you what are those terms that you really should have in your resume to get past ProFinder for your given field. And if I keep scrolling down, I can actually put in where I'm located. I'm coming to you from Virginia today. And I can find out what are some jobs that are hiring for education and higher ed in my neck of the woods. Oh my goodness. Look at some of these great jobs, but I'm happy where I am. In fact, if I apply for one of these, Microsoft is putting the resumes on top of the pile at LinkedIn. And there are tons of features like this. For example, if I go under Word and go to File and New, I'm going to make this larger. One of the new features that's available in Office 365 Word and Outlook is Dictate. So right now, I'm dictating live right now so that you can see what I'm saying. And I can actually do this in a lot of different languages. So if I have someone in my front row that speaks Vietnamese and I'm speaking English, I could have it convert on the fly. Pretty exciting, eh? So there are tons of new features that are part of Office 365 that you're definitely going to want in your classroom and are going to be part of the book. So make sure you have that discussion with your IT directors to make sure they know what to expect here. So think about it as Office 365 is now real-time collaboration. It has the heavy security, all the artificial intelligence powered within it. So really, truly, Office 365 would be the great choice for this fall. Guys, I'm answering questions in the Facebook feed here and in the community at cengage.com. Hey, if you have any more questions, feel free to contact me or post any questions in the cengage.com community for computing. Guys, as you move forward this fall, consider Office 365 Plus. Don't forget, it is not the same as Office Online, which is the lightweight version of Office. It's an entire ecosystem of all the products put together. And soon, Office 2019 and Office 2022 will expire. They're only giving them 3 years of life. And same with Office 2016. So this will get you on the pathway because Office 365 will be the Office moving forward for everyone to use, as well as Windows 10. Guys, thank you so much for your time.